Welcome to the Lineup Show, guys. I'm your host. I'm going to be going over some NFL DFS stuff with you guys. It's Thursday night football. It's the New York Jets at the New England Patriots. And before I go any further, I just want to say that Travion Henderson last week did what Colston Loveland did to me. And he put up 31 points the week after I played him. So I played him when they played Atlanta in week 9. He got 12.7 points. And the following week, week 10, he got 31 fantasy points. So that's the same exact thing that happened with Loveland. He exploded the week after I played him. But anyways, he doesn't have the greatest matchup this week, but he doesn't have a terrible one. So I think he he does have a pretty decent matchup this week. Travion is averaging about 9.7 fantasy points a game. Huge game last week, as we just said. The Jets are 16th against the running back, 25th against the rush. Stevenson is out, so I believe Henderson will be a great play in this game. Now looking at Drake May, he's the highest salary person on the slate. He's averaging 21.5 fantasy points a game. I expect him to have a good game, a decent game at least, mainly because the Jets are not that great against the rush. But as far as passing, they are pretty decent against the pass. I don't know how much passing I expect him to do, but I'd imagine he'd get some in. The Jets 21st against the quarterback and 8th against the pass, so we'll just have to see what it is. I don't love that spot for him for some reason, but it actually could end up being pretty decent. Not sure how to put that into words, what I'm thinking, but I feel like he could either go really bad one way or really good the other way. I'm just not sure which. Maybe it's in between. He could do anything, guys, is what I'm saying. So that doesn't help you at all. Doesn't really help me. I'm just not sure what to think about him this week. I expect him to get points. I don't think I'm going to play him at captain. I almost said Bijan Robinson. Breece Hall. I had no interest in Breece this week at all. He's been playing decent, averaging 15.6 fantasy points a game. But New England's 4th against the running back and 1st against the rush. I have no desire to play him. Stephon Diggs, averaging 12.9 fantasy points a game. Jets are 9th against the wide receiver and 8th against the pass. I don't love him in this spot either. I do like Justin Fields here quite a bit. And keep in mind, he has had some big games. I don't think all the losing has been on Justin. He's had some big games, guys, this season. New England is 19th against the quarterback and 21st against the pass. I don't mind him at captain. I really don't, and I think I might even play him at captain. Only downside here is Garrett Wilson is doubtful. So I'm hoping that doesn't hinder his play a lot. I could definitely see you playing the Patriots defense. Although they haven't played well the last 2 weeks. The previous weeks before that, they played pretty good. They averaged 7.9 fantasy points a game. Jets are 24th against the defense. I could see you playing them. And good old Kayshawn. I don't know if he's going to play this week or not. He's got a hamstring injury. Listed as limited practice on Tuesday. I have no desire to play him even if he was in. And guys, I may have lied to you. I told you Stevenson was out. It looks like he's questionable. It's not saying that he's out. He was limited participant for the second day in a row. It's unclear how extensively he mixed into drills with his teammates. I don't think I expect him to play, but yeah, if you want to play him, check back in somewhere. Maybe he will actually play. I don't think he's going to. If he does, it makes me like Henderson less, but I think I still like Henderson here. I like Demario Douglas because he got a 23-point fantasy game in Week 9. That's about the only reason. But I don't think that I want to play him this week. Don't have a whole lot of interest in Mac Hollins. I do in Hunter Henry. So he hasn't had a super explosive game except for Week 3. He had a 29-point fantasy game. And I think he could be closer to that number this week. Maybe not 29, but maybe 15 to 20. The Jets are 25th against the tight end. And I think he's ready to rock and roll. Andy Borregales is how I'm going to say this guy's name. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. I feel like I've butchered enough names on this show, but that's okay. You guys understand who I'm talking about. So, Jets are 32nd against the kicker, so it's obvious. He averages 7.3 fantasy points a game. Obvious that he's a good play this week. Nick Folk, I also think could be a good play here, although New England's 6th against the kicker, so it doesn't, scream to me, hey, you should play him, but he's had some impactful games this season. I think Mason Taylor is going to be heavily used in this game. If Garrett Wilson is out, and he is doubtful, then I believe Mason Taylor is going to have a huge game here. New England's 28th against the tight end. I guess I shouldn't use huge game so loosely. I think he's going to have a really good game. Probably closer to his Week 5, 17.7 fantasy point game, or Week 8, 14.4. I think he could have 15 points this week. I do. I just expect him having a good game with Garrett Wilson out. It looks like Terrell Jennings is out. And I'm not sure if he says Terrell or Terrell. I'm a Terrell Davis fan, or was a Terrell Davis fan, so I'm going to go with Terrell. But he has averaged 3 fantasy points a game. He did have a decent Week 9, but still only 11.4 fantasy points. Don't expect him to be a huge difference. But since Garrett Wilson is out, we're going to have to look at these backup receivers for the Jets. And again, I shouldn't say he's out. He's doubtful. And they're kind of out of order from salary-wise from what the depth chart is showing. But if we scroll down here, first of all, I'm not even seeing Allen Lazard. Okay, I am seeing Allen Lazard on this list, but he's way down there at this point. So I'm not sure what's going on with Allen Lazard. I think maybe they're not really playing him anymore. Maybe is what's going to happen. I can't imagine that be the case, but he hasn't been doing phenomenal this year at all. But with that said, we got Tyler Johnson as a guy that could have a good week. The New England is 19th against the wide receiver, 21st against the pass. So I would expect their receivers to do as good or better probably than New England's this week just because of the matchup. But you got him. Then you got Adonai Mitchell, who I think is probably going to have a bigger game, bigger role this week. Just looking at Dearness Johnson, I don't think Dearness Johnson is going to get much of an uptick at all. Arian Smith could get an uptick here. Austin Hooper looks like he's questionable. He wasn't in attendance for Tuesday's practice because of a concussion. I doubt that he's going to play on Thursday if he didn't practice on Tuesday. I will say I feel like maybe Jeremy Ruckert might get some more work with Garrett Wilson being out as well. But I don't know that for sure. It's just kind of an assumption. I was actually looking. I don't even see the Jets. There's the Jets defense. I wanted to look at their matchup because they had a good game against Cleveland last week. New England's 18th against the defense. Jets only average 4.4 fantasy points a game, but I could see them having a big game. So let's go ahead and make a lineup here. I think what I want to do, it's at New England. I'm really tempted to play Travion Henderson as my captain, but I think I'm actually going to play Justin Fields. Then I'm going to play Henderson and probably Drake May as well. And then I think I'm going to go... I'm tempted to play the Patriots defense, although they're more expensive than I want to play. I was looking at New England's kicker. I'd like to play him. Will that leave me enough for Mason, though? Because I want Mason in there. Mason Taylor, that is. That doesn't, but that's because I accidentally made Justin Fields not the captain, and I made Henderson the captain. That still does not leave me enough. So the only one I think maybe I could take out Drake May here. I don't think I want to, because I'm not sure who I'd play in his stead. I don't want to play Stephon Diggs. I don't necessarily want to play the Patriots defense since I'm playing a bunch of the Jets players. But in a showdown slate, I could see a path for both to do well. I just don't know that I want to do that, or if I even want to pay up. You have Folk there. I think I would like to go with one of these receivers from the Jets. And I'm really not sure which one to go with because I don't know anything about any of them. Mitchell is listed as the number one now that Garrett is out. So I guess maybe we'd throw Mitchell in there. Guys, that leaves a ton of salary on the table. But I think we go Adonai Mitchell here, and then I think this is the lineup I like the best. I might finagle with it. I might try to put Drake May in and just make like Mason Taylor captain or something. But for the most part, this is the lineup I like right here, or these are the players that I like for this week. So, but please let me know in the chat who you guys like. I'd love to know who you like as captain, and just in general. If there's someone in here I'm missing, and if you know anything about any cheap options, you know, guys that are 200 or 300, that something I'm missing, like, hey, this guy's back from injury, let us know too if you want. If you don't want to keep it a secret, don't blame me if you do. But hey, I appreciate you guys watching. I wish you the best for your lineup. And I hope this helps, or at least you've enjoyed watching. If you want to subscribe, please do. We are at 36 subscribers now and working our way up, trying to get to 50 because that's when I can do lives, and hopefully can figure out doing some live videos for you guys too. That could be something. That could be different because, you know, doing stuff live, there's no editing it out or deleting it if it's bad. You've seen me butcher some names and stuff before, so I don't want to embarrass myself, but it could be fun. And I really would like to hear from you guys in the chat maybe while I'm making the videos. So anyways, sorry to keep rambling on, guys. I hope you have a good one. Thanks again.